What is up, Stargate members? So today I wanted to go over a question that I've been getting asked a lot was, when should I hold more Bitcoin over altcoins, or when should I have more exposure to altcoins over Bitcoin? So to kind of gauge the macro trend of Bitcoin dominance over altcoin dominance, what I like to do is I'll go to charts.cointrader.pro. So if you go to Google, you do charts.cointrader.pro. Go there and then click on the first one. And then what you can do is you can go to here, search a coin, and you can type Bitcoin dominance, which is so BTC dominance. I don't know why it's not showing up right now. All right. So Bitcoin right here. So just type BTC and then you can go to Bitcoin dominance right here. So it'll be a Bitcoin, then a colon dominance. So you click that. And this gauges the overall trend of Bitcoin against all the altcoins. So this right here, when this is going down, the chart's going down, that means that altcoins are gaining more in price gains over Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin dominance is going up like this, so like that, it makes sense to own more Bitcoin and have more exposure to Bitcoin over the altcoins, because Bitcoin is gaining more dominance and strength against the other altcoins. So in these moments, Bitcoin is performing better than all the other altcoins. And in these moments, altcoins are performing better than Bitcoin, and it makes sense to have more exposure to altcoins in these periods. So if we go to here, we want to check the overall trend. So like support lines, resistance lines, finding if it's bullish or bearish market structure. So basically, ever since August or September of 2019, Bitcoin has made lower highs and lower lows. So it's in a bearish market structure. So we have a high there, and then a low, a lower high, a lower low. This kind of wicked up right there, but this is a lower high, lower low. This was during like December, January 2021. This kind of came up to the same level as before, faked everybody out. So you could draw it like a resistance line right here. It went up to that same level and then formed another lower low all the way down here. And during this period right here was when altcoins, Doge, Shiba Inu, everything was just going crazy and going up a ton in price. So now that we established the market structure of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance, that means that altcoins are gaining more exposure, more gains and trend strength over Bitcoin since basically September of 2019. So right now, we popped up and made a wick up here, but now we're back at these levels. So you could do a trend line and see that we kind of already broke this trend line that it was forming right here. We came down, we wicked up very high up here, but it was immediately rejected. And this is where we're hanging out at right now. So this red line across right here, I'll do a horizontal line by going to here, horizontal line, and then we can draw a support line right there. So in the past, because we always look to the past to then kind of predict or speculate on the future. So in the past, it's came down to this level, broke through it, came back, and then was supported by it, and then right here got hung up on it, broke through, kind of acted as resistance right there, came back down. As soon as it broke through here, it really shot up, And then ever since, it's came back down, broke through, then kind of like resistance, then it was supported, and now we're hanging out on that line once again. What I think is if this Bitcoin dominance breaks through this 43.66 level, that means that 43.66% of the market, all the money in the market, is in Bitcoin. So if it breaks this level, we saw in the past that this was a very strong level. It's going to come back down, and I'll probably retest these lows before, like this and here. So if it can come down from here down to these levels, that's about a 10% drop. So if we go to Bitcoin, we can see that 10% of the market cap of Bitcoin is like around $100 billion. So $100 billion will be flowing through these altcoins. And if it can drop down to these levels, this is the last line in the sand. Basically, if it can drop down to these levels, a lot of money will flow into the altcoins and they'll pop off again. And then if it breaks this level, there's really not much further support back here. We got basically this line, and if it breaks through those, altcoins are gonna rip and roar, and you want to be more weighted into altcoins during these periods. Then you could go back to TradingView, and they also have Bitcoin dominance on there. You can do BTC.D, and let's see if we can pair the indicator with it a little bit. So I'm going to go out to a 1 day. And with Bitcoin dominance, the indicator usually calls bottoms and tops better with the 3-day chart. And we can see that if we throw on these indicators, that it's not showing strong momentum to the upside. It looks like Bitcoin dominance is going to keep rolling over, providing a lot of money flowing into the altcoins, so you'd want to have more exposure to it. So honestly, the indicator you should use more on just regular, like specific coins, altcoin pairings. When you're using it for the whole market cap of Bitcoin dominance, it's not the best, because it kind of reads, it's way different data with the Bitcoin dominance than it is with like a specific coin. So don't use the indicator for it. Just look at the previous levels and draw trend lines. Because if you draw trend lines, you can get a gauge of the price directions. So we can do something like that. And right now, we're bouncing in this broadening wedge kind of pattern here. So remember Elliott waves? Pull this up here. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're waiting for the 5th wave down. So that Bitcoin dominance has more room to fall down, which means that altcoins are gonna gain more against Bitcoin, meaning that we should be more weighted with altcoins than Bitcoin right now, because we'll make more money with the altcoins over Bitcoin. But if we start to see Bitcoin dominance rally from this point, this level that we're at right now, break through this upper trend line, gain some ground, make a higher high than these previous ones. So say it comes up right now, breaks through, makes a higher high, and then a higher low, and starts forming a new kind of trend upwards, then maybe we start to consider putting the money from the altcoins back into Bitcoin. But right now at this moment, it's teetering on the edge of falling through. And if it does, it's going to be explosive for altcoins. So we want to keep an eye out on that. Also, you can gauge, if we go back to the charts cointrader.pro, we looked at Bitcoin dominance and we labeled the levels. Now we can go to altcoin dominance and look at the opposite side of things. So what we're seeing right now is that altcoin dominance is kind of back up to where it was back in 2017 when altcoins were going explosive. And what I like to do is that, because the altcoin dominance compared to Bitcoin dominance kind of goes in cycles and waves. So you can see here that these structures are basically the same. Some are longer and more extended, some are more, closer and shrunk together, more compressed. So these were small kind of altcoin cycles right here. So these structures are the same as this one, just on a way bigger scale. Because we can see here that if we copy this pattern over, right, I can put it to this one and we can see it's the same thing. And then we can put it on this one. This one came down further here and then made a higher low right there. Instead, this one came down and stopped short, came up, and then made a lower low. But these all fit the same, even on the smaller scale. So I'll shrink this down. And we can see that even this is the same. Even that's the same. It makes kind of like a hill there, final hill, one low, second low, third low, then pops up. So now I'll take this structure and I'll expand it out to match this current cycle. See this? How it's the same thing? And we can see sometimes what happens is, so this kind of inverted outwards while this came in inwards. So this came down once, came up, came back down. This popped out like this. Instead, this popped in like that. And then it made, let me move this. This structure right here. Where it kind of just rode on this trend line. And now we're back up to these levels right up here. So that's how you can look at the trend of altcoins against Bitcoin and kind of gauge where we're at in the cycle. Usually we see around like January of every year is a good time to be in the altcoins, because we have January right here, January right there, so it usually calls a top or a bottom. So that was the top, this was a bottom, that was a bottom, this was a top, top, bottom, bottom, and then I'm expecting a top to come in for January 2022. So we had a top here, top there, bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top, and then we'll probably see another top in January 2023. So that's how we can look at the cycles. We see that it makes kind of this pattern of this across, just like this across, just like this across, and then it kind of makes a U shape, recovers back to where it was at. So like U shape, U shape, and this is making a bigger U shape, and then it goes higher through the trend line and continues going up. So that's what we're seeing right now, just playing out on a longer scale. But I personally believe altcoins are the place to be. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, Bitcoin basically almost has $1 trillion market cap. Altcoins, you know, you can get one for $1 billion market cap. That's 100x to get even where Bitcoin is right now. So if you think Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, 200,000, that means Bitcoin, if it goes to 200,000, it'll have a $4 trillion market cap. What would stop something that is a 1 billion market cap to go to 100 billion market cap, kind of like where Ethereum is right now, almost where Cardano is almost at $100 million market cap? What would stop one of these ones down here to go up 100x if when Bitcoin goes to 200,000 and it's like $5 trillion market cap? And so you'd only make 4 times your money in being in Bitcoin rather than being in something down here at the bottom of the list that's only $1 billion market cap, that has a good project, a good use case, that could potentially 100 times your money. That's why I like to stay more weighted with altcoins, because Bitcoin, there's already a lot of money in it. It takes a lot more money to move it up and make more price gains. So I like to stick with the altcoins and find that next one to take off to 100 times your money. So after looking at the market caps, go to charts.cointrader.pro. You can look at it kind of cleaner on here. It stretches back with more data. You can go to market cap -altcoin :dominance to get the altcoin market cap dominance. And then you can go to Bitcoin :dominance to get the Bitcoin dominance. So like this, and you'll see the Bitcoin dominance. And then that's what we keep our eyes on first off for the macro picture of, all right, should I be more weighted in Bitcoin or should I be more weighted in altcoins? After you do that, you can go into the specific coins. We'll do XRP to Bitcoin, and we can see where are we at in the specific trend for specific coins. So we could do support and resistance lines, remember? So every single time that XRP hit this trend line, it's rallied off of it. I mean, hit this support line. So right there, right there, right there. And then we can even draw some more support lines. So that was one. And then we're on another one right now. So if XRP can break through here and then break through this next resistance level right there, nothing is really stopping it from pulling one of these or one of those and going up about from this bottom support line. This went up 30 times against Bitcoin. So if I was looking at the XRP to Bitcoin chart and I knew altcoins were starting to gain more price gains and strength against Bitcoin after looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart and the altcoin dominance chart, then I can go to the specific coins and I can see, all right, every time it touched this bottom support line, it rallied 10 times against Bitcoin in that example. And then on this one, 30 times your money against Bitcoin in that example. And then right now, currently, this one went like 5 times your money, but there could be more room to run on this one. So if I saw that, I could say, all right, when it gets to this bottom support line again, I'm going to dump some Bitcoin into it. And then say it pulls one of those moves, you just made 30 times more than you would by holding that Bitcoin. So now when it gets up to these levels, you can convert back into Bitcoin. And now you have 30 times more the amount of Bitcoin that you wouldn't have had if you just held Bitcoin in the first place. So by converting your Bitcoin into a coin, like XRP in this case, you make 30 times more and then convert back into Bitcoin, and now you have 30 times more Bitcoin than what you originally had if you had just held on to it instead of converting it. So that's what we do. We look at kind of the previous levels where it bounced off from after looking at the macro structure of altcoin dominance compared to Bitcoin dominance, and then we take a look at these coins. So now we can go to ADA. And we see that Cardano against Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength. We have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're making another higher high right now. And hopefully we can make another higher low and continue this trend upwards. Right now we're coming in on some resistance. But past this point, there's not much resistance thereafter. So if we can keep moving at this pace, say from these levels right now, we can break through and get to this top level of the all-time high before. Say we converted our Bitcoin to Cardano right now, we'd make 46% more Bitcoin by converting into Cardano right now than if we were just holding our Bitcoin. So we can go back to TradingView and look at it with the indicator. So we go to Cardano against Bitcoin. We'll throw on the indicator. We have a sell warning coming in right now. The past times the sell warning came in was a top. So we're on the 3-day. So a 3-day sell warning is very strong of a signal. This is what we're watching out for. So on a 3-day, we see the sell signal come in. Now, what we want to wait for is we'll go down to the smaller time frames. And right now, the 1-day chart, the TSI, is starting to hold off. And it's starting to show some strength to the upside right now. The stock RSI is starting to curl back, show some strength to the upside. That's all good. We might consider converting Cardano back into Bitcoin once a sell confirmation comes in on the 1-day or the 2-day or the 3-day. Remember, bullish market structure, we're selling on 1-day, 2-day, and 3-day time frames. So 1-day it's flashing a sell warning, 2-day it's flashing a sell warning, and 3-day it's flashing a sell warning. This is a strong signal. When the sell confirmation comes in, we're selling and converting back into Bitcoin. And then you can ride the trend up with Bitcoin. And then once that's the case and we start to see a bottom come in, then we can convert back into Cardano and make double the amount of Cardano, triple the amount of Cardano. So then we'll go to Solana. On the 3-day, flashing sell warnings. 2 days flashing sell warnings. The 1-day is flashing a sell warning. We're getting ready to convert our Solana into Bitcoin. Not yet, but we're waiting for the sell confirmation to come in on the 1-day. It saved itself. literally saved itself. It was about to cross, and it was like, nah, I'm not done yet. Look at that. It was so close. It said, nope, I'm going back up. MACD didn't cross. Now it's starting to show some movement to the upside. And then the stock RSI is crossing back up just like it was back here. See right here, it crossed back up. When it did that, it went up another double. So if you sold out back here, you missed on doubling the amount of your Bitcoin. That's why we want to wait for the sell confirmations on the higher time frames, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and we want to see it match up. So on a 1 day there's a sell warning, 2 days there's a sell warning, 3 day there's a sell warning. Let's even check the 1 week. Not yet. So the 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, it's flashing sell warnings. So we're waiting to convert our Solana into Bitcoin. If you wanted to catch the dip, the 4 hourly chart, 6 hourly chart, 12 hourly is what we're doing to buy the dips on this. Right there, called the bottom, and now we're going up. On the 12 hour, it's flash a sell confirmation, but that's why we want to wait to pair the sell confirmations and sell warnings with the 1 day, 2 day, and 3 day, especially when we're in an established uptrend and when a coin is showing a lot of strength. And we're not fully selling out of our coins, we're averaging out of our position, scaling out. So Solana's showing more strength. It's going to continue keep heading higher. This is only the first sell signal coming in on the 1 day, and the confirmation hasn't even came in yet. The last time there was a top of Solana against a Bitcoin, there was 3 confirmations coming in, 1, 2, 3. So we haven't even made the first confirmation yet on the 1 day. So this still has room to go. That's Solana. I'm going to go into Algo. If anything, now's a good time to convert some Bitcoin into Algo. On the 12 hour, we had a sell signal come in, but it's looking like the stock RSI is starting to curl back up. TSI is starting to curl. Same with the MACD. We had a sell confirmation come in, but that was a little bit ago. And on a 1 day, we haven't had any sell confirmations come in, and we previously just had a buy confirmation come in at the 2032 level. We're only at 2162. We could convert some of our Bitcoin into Algo right now, and we could ride that wave up. And if it goes back to these previous levels, like here, we could see us gain 33% more Bitcoin by converting Bitcoin into Algo right now, and maybe we can convert back into Bitcoin once it hits these levels just to play safe. And then we would do a trend line right here and say, all right, I'm going to convert my Bitcoin into Algo right now, but if it breaks down through this trend line, I'm selling out of it. And I'm going to, take a very minimal loss just to avoid any further downside. So you could take that trade. If it goes down 3%, you're out of it, just in case it doesn't fall lower and you're out 15% or even go lower than that. But so your risk is down 3%, but your reward is up 33%. So that's an 11-to-1 trade. Now I'm going to go into Ethereum against Bitcoin. And it's starting to look like Ethereum's going to outpace Bitcoin right now. Right here, the stock RSI is crossing back up with some bullish momentum. The MACD is looking like it's ready to curl back over. The TSI is looking like it's ready to curl, and this is on the 1 day. I could probably go out to a 12-hour, and it already has. 12-hour, we had a buy warning, buy confirmation. Right now may be a good time to convert your Bitcoin into Ethereum. So this is what we're watching, guys. And then you can draw the trend lines. Like this. And if this can break up past this trend line, come back down, test it as support, I'm confident this thing is gonna rip up. And then it'll go back and test these previous levels. Like this. And that would be if you converted your Bitcoin to Ethereum right now and it goes up to these levels, you're talking about 28% against Bitcoin, 57% against Bitcoin, and 84% against Bitcoin. So that is how you would look at knowing about, like, should I have more alt exposure or should I have more Bitcoin exposure? First, you want to look at the macro structure, so of like the whole market in general. So you want to look at either on TradingView or on charts.cointrader.pro. Go to Bitcoin dominance, go to altcoin dominance, look at the broader trend of everything, and then you can go into the specific coins and kind of after getting a good gauge as to whether, all right, are altcoins going to start performing better than Bitcoin over the next 3 to 6 months, or is Bitcoin going to start performing better over the next 3 to 6 months? These markets and the altcoin to Bitcoin dominance moves in waves of like 3 to 6 months. So that's what you keep an eye out for at first, and then you go into the individual coins and you're able to get a good gauge as to whether, all right, should I convert my Bitcoin or should I convert my altcoins? And then also remember to never fully go out of a trade. Don't 100% go out. Maybe if you wanted to, you could go riskier and you could do that, but you have to feel comfortable knowing that, hey, I might miss out on an opportunity if this keeps ripping on up. So you could do like 50% that you sell out on and then keep the other 50% in. And that's the way to play the market, so you don't feel as if like, oh, I missed out on this, you know, or like you feel like you made a mistake. Because you could have made a good play at first, but then the market switches back up on you and then it keeps going up. So it's always good to have that long-term holding bag just in case things were to keep going up, that you don't feel like you sold out too early or anything like that. So that's a quick little bonus video going over the altcoin to Bitcoin dominance. I just want to get it out there because we haven't talked about it in our one-on-one consultations, but if it's something you have questions on, then we can talk about it next week in our one-on-ones. So have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you guys soon.